From the lowest to the highest, from the furthest to the nearest, from the smallest of the smallest to the greatest of the greatest, yoga is about all of life, everything we do, all of existence. My name's James Bogue. Welcome to the Whole Life Yoga Podcast. You know that dystopian fantasy of the deluded, maniacal globalists? Yeah, you mean that one, that whole bollocks of centralised control and being governed by the disgustingly limited vision of clowns who think it's okay to do the most unspeakably evil things. That one. Yeah, that fiction. Well, you know, in their deluded fantasies of grandeur, they seem to have missed that the joke's on them, no? Go on. Well, you know, they talk about a new world order, but the whole time, their anti-life dystopia of evil empire, it's nothing but the monstrous death throes of the old order. It's just a gross manifestation of this dysfunctional paradigm based on control and domination that's on its way out. The new world, it won't be one of domination, fear and control. No, that is the way of something that is on its way out. It will soon be seen as the old world. It is crumbling all around us, and it will soon be dissolved. You know, in Ramayana, the Indic mythology is so good for this, because it tells us, it reminds us, this is an old story. The cycles come and go. In Ramayana, the tyrant, the one who thinks he can do whatever he wants, the one who thinks he can dominate and control, Ravana, he thinks he is invincible. He thinks he can dominate life, dominate nature. He thinks he can abduct the innocent and play with it for his own ends. But he is wrong. Hubris brings inevitable nemesis. When Hanuman goes in search of Sita and enters Lanka, he meets the guardian warrioress of the city. She confronts him, but she's easily overpowered. And when this happens, what does the warrioress do? She blesses Hanuman, that he may find Sita, that he may be successful in all his endeavours. And then she says, now it is time for me to leave. And she does. She, who is the Shakti, the power of the city, she is gone. Ravana's power is gone. Hanuman does find Sita. He does put the city to flames and single-handedly wreaks a havoc that the Rakshasa population can barely believe. And at this point, it's good to remember what does Rakshasa mean? One of the ways we can understand Rakshasa is those who cling to the known, those who are blinkered by attachments born of fear. And after Hanuman has known this great success in this part of his mission, he returns to Rama, and before long, with a vast, huge Vanara army, Vanara often gets translated as monkey, but what does it mean? It means those who know how to live in the Vana, those who know how to live in harmony with nature. They come and invade the island kingdom that Ravana thought was impregnable. He thought it was impregnable. He thought he was invincible. He thought he was smarter than nature, more intelligent than life. What a stupid thought. He thought he could play God. It's an old story. Pride comes before a fall. Hubris begets nemesis. Hanuman, he's the son of the wind. You know what they say about whosoever sows the wind? Well, the whirlwinds are upon us. Now in the Ramayana, the terrible war still has to unfold. The dissolution of Ravana's false attachments and delusions has to be reaped. But it's already done. Those dystopians with their New World Order fiction, they are prisons of their own outdated, deluded fiction. For sure, some of their celebrity mouthpieces like to spout things like democracy is a fiction, or even more laughably, oh, there's no reason for human beings. But this is just one of their fictions. They, of course, are experts at picking and choosing the skewed and tragic comically partial narratives to perpetuate their kingdom of blindness. But long before their fear-based fiction became normalised, there were other stories. You know, yes, you know, deep in your DNA. Back in the day, we relied on each other. In the village, different people brought different skill sets and different qualities to the collective. How about the possibility, contrary to what has been propagated upon us for centuries, that humans are not especially antagonistic, marauding, or bent upon domination, upon extraction or exploitation? What about the idea that such tendencies have always been the propensity of a tiny percentage of human beings? That they've only been able to wreak the havoc they have because of the collective, collaborative tendencies of the greater part of the human species. It's only because of communication and cooperation that we were ever able to rise to the top of the food chain. It's only because of collective endeavour that tyrants ever had populations to exploit, that marauders had grain and treasure to plunder, that robber tech barons and their coteries have riches to pillage. Beyond the fictions, there is the reality that your very human form, in the space of which cohere earth, water, fire and air, elements that don't necessarily cohere together so readily, they are here as the living, pulsating embodiment of the innate human capacity to reconcile things that might seem impossible to reconcile. In the Innate tradition it's said, the gods in the heavens envy us for our mishra karma, our mixed karma. As earthlings, we're part of nature. Nature meaning that which is born, which will die, and in between those two great changes we'll experience constant change. As a human, we will know the pairs of opposites, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, joy and sorrow. And yet, amidst all of this coming and going, now and again, it could be in a moment of great intensity, running for our life, seeing the beloved after a long absence, or it could be in a most mundane, everyday moment, doing some simple task, washing the dishes, washing the clothes, beholding the beauty of a sunset. It's just so beautiful, and it just transports us into this moment of integrated presence. And these moments of integrated presence where we experience more fully, they prompt us to slow down for a moment, to look and listen and feel more deeply. And when we do, we glimpse beyond the comings and goings. And the more we do this, the more we'll remember our deeper nature. And this will dissolve the phantom fear that has haunted this eon, when the stories of fear propped up systems of exploitation seeking to dominate and control. As Patanjali tells us in the Yoga Sutra, when we come out of a womb into the pulsating, cycling world of change, that's a heroic passage from the known to the unknown, from simple unity into a world of manyness. And it's only natural that before long we start to identify with our tenuous bodily vehicle. Yes, the body is a glorious vehicle, so rich in so many intelligences, but tenuous nonetheless. And so the identification with the body, it brings a kind of insecurity. So what do? Well, we try to bolster that sense of security, to protect ourselves against fear, by creating a sense of I, an idea. And the more we fortify this idea, I'm here and I'm not there. I like this, I don't like that. I'm good at this, I'm not good at that. I'm one of these and I'm not one of those. The tragedy that when our innocent efforts to alleviate our fears just perpetuate cycles of fear. So it goes. We develop our preferences and allegiances, our habitual desires and aversions. We construct this sense of identity. We identify it. We get attached to it. We cling to the known familiar and we resist change, just as we cling to life and fear death. But the gods in the heavens, they envy us for a reason. Because when we learn to be steady amidst the teeming pairs of opposites, when we learn to be steady and face our fear, we recognize more and more our deathless essence, and we expose our fear, or so much of it, for the phantom it is. As my teacher told me, at the dawn of this century, the yogis have been after Kali Yuga for some time. Really, the ways of cooperation, of mutual respect, of living in rhythm and harmony, of embodying our natural place as part of the beauty of this cosmos, these ways are resurgent. We're now at a crack of the ages, just as Arjuna was when Krishna gave him, and all of us, the Bhagavad Gītā. The time is now. There are those who would cling to the ways of fear, separation and division, who would try to dominate and control life. But life is infinitely more powerful. Life knows how to live, and life knows how to find a way. It always finds a way. It always finds many ways. If we think that they, those who are blinded by fear, in the grip of evil, anti-life, can control life, think of the simple virus or bacteria that mutates to survive and thrive, however hard we try to kill it. What to say then of the human intelligence, the intelligence of the earth, water, fire, air and space? It is the same intelligence that holds the galaxies whirling in the skies, that holds the cells pulsating in this body. Life knows how to live. Have no fear. Life knows how to live. Have no fear. Remember who you are. Who am I? Not who do I think I am. Not who do they think I am, or what will they think of me, or who should I be? No, who am I? Really? Yoga doesn't give us an easy answer, but it gives us a very robust frame to ask helpful questions, to help us inquire into the reality of existence and fathom our deeper capacities. As Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gītā, we have the capacity for mayhem. We can make a mess. We have the capacity, as Solzhenitsyn said, the line of good and evil runs through every human heart. But that's not to say that the capacity for cohesion, for cooperation, for integration, balance and harmony is not also pulsating in the core of ourselves. We have the capacity for lokasaṅgraha, the cohesive well-being of the whole, to enact our dharma, our innate nature, our innate capacities in such a way that it also supports the well-being of all, that it weaves into the beauty of the fabric of existence in all its glory and splendour. Because look at this extraordinary planet, how blessed we are to be earthlings. How can we inhabit life on the earth with more clarity, more beauty, more freedom to express the ingenuity, the brilliance that is our deeper innate capacity? So I will be starting a new course on the Bhagavad Gītā next Monday, the 23rd of February. It'll be Mondays in English, Wednesdays in French, 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the main European time zone like Switzerland or France or Czech Republic, Austria, for example. So it'll be 5:30 to 7 in England. It'll be earlier in the day in the US. It'll be later further east, obviously. But you can also attend even if you can't join the live sessions, because all participants will have access to all the recordings, and then you'll have access to them for a full year after the course culminates in May. So it'll be you'll have the full access through to June 2027. So I've been working with the Gita for 20 plus years, and I find life can be different it's just more supported when we invite Krishna, who symbolizes the voice of deep intuitive wisdom, the intelligence of life itself. When we invite that intelligence more consciously into our everyday awareness, we've got more support to navigate the ups and downs of life with more steadiness. The teachings are so pragmatic, so relatable, and I think this is an amazing time to study the Gita. So I would love to see you on the course. You can sign up via the link